A couple of weeks ago, we competed in the longest running rally in Australia and indeed the Southern Hemisphere. The 54th Safari Rally is a piece of Australian rally history. The Light Car Club of WA started running the Safari Rally in 1966. Alongside the sport, the rally has evolved as well. It's moved several places and changed sponsors over the years, and in 2015 I had the honour of being the clerk of course for the 50th anniversary of the event. This year the rally ran in Boddington. Running a rally is no mean feat. It takes a hell of a lot of work, and I can tell you that from personal experience. And sometimes we're not always aware of the reasons why things happen on rallies. And that's very true of the 2019 Safari Rally. Initially, the rally had planned to run over a great number of stages and have some decent competitive kilometres in it. However, behind the scenes, the rally is run on private property, and some of those properties were sold during the time that the planning for the rally took place. As it turned out, in the end, the organisers could only get access to sections of road that made up two special stages, and so the rally effectively had two stages run 3 times that came to 90 kilometres. Indeed, even at the death's knock, when cars were on the start line ready for the ceremonial start, they had to change the running order of the event. This came down to an issue with the timing system that couldn't cope with the way the rally was set up, and a very hasty change was made to follow a more traditional format. Speaking of the ceremonial start, our Irish mates Glenn Malcorn and Sean McMacken had trouble with their escort when they were literally ready to drive to stage 1. Unfortunately, the clutch cable broke, and the boys hastily drove the car back to service park and worked on the car using the tools and equipment in the car and the spare clutch cable they had in the car, and went about fixing it. While they were at it though, there is a bone I have to pick with one female official who called me a right piece of work because I was filming them while they were changing the clutch cable. Maybe you should get your facts straight and stop jumping to conclusions and realise that things are not always as they seem. Enough said. The boys did end up getting the clutch cable sorted, got the car out to stage 1, albeit quite late, and did stage 1 and I think part of stage 2 before they had some other dramas with the car, which turned out to be a failure of the rear diff. Unfortunately, after all the hard work, the guys were out of the rally and forced to retire. Behind all the drama and confusion, we ran a 3-car team. We had Mark and Graham in the Celica GT4, Lance and Chris in the Sylvia, and Hugh and Karen in their V8 Commodore. The first couple of stages weren't too much drama, well, for the state guys. Lance and Chris, they had a bit of a different story. Unfortunately, they only got about 3Ks into stage 1 when this happened. Yes, they ran a little bit wide on the outside of a left corner and into a very large water rut that is partially a drainage ditch. Unfortunately, the Sylvia got quite a nasty whack, and it bent the right-hand rear suspension and the cross member in the car. Unfortunately, it was beyond us being able to fix it at the rally, and so they were out very early. The conditions, if anything, were deteriorating. There was no wind at all, it was very dusty, and the afternoon sun was beginning to set. It was providing pretty much blinding conditions. This is the in-car of Karen and Hugh. As you can see, they have to stop a few times in the stage because they just have a lack of visibility. And at one point there, they have a very hard hit where they actually go off the road into a ditch. It ended up doing quite a bit of damage to the front of the car, and wisely they decided to withdraw. The last stage was run at night, so effectively there was a floating curtain of mud with just the dust hanging in the air. Mike Joss, who in previous events hasn't had much luck, actually was car 1 on this rally and had a reasonable advantage with vision, and he actually managed to finish the rally in 4th place. So well done to you, mate. It was good to see you finish the rally, and for a 2-wheel drive car to be in 4th place is good effort. Also doing quite well given the conditions was young Kelly Thomas with Dad Dave alongside. They finished 8th outright. With 2 of our team cars withdrawn, there was only Mark and Graham left flying the flag. and they did get the car to the finish, albeit with a slight flesh wound on one side. They too had a couple of spins in the dust and got a bit lost before they managed to find their way out. They ended up finishing the rally in 13th place. Whilst it might have been pretty warm during the day, it did get bloody cold at night. And one of the things that made it a lot more comfortable in the service park was our fire pit. And it was done by Rustic Metalworks that are based in 2J in WA. I'll put a link in the description below. The safari has always had a bit of a reputation for being a bit of a tough event, and this year was probably one of the toughest we've ever done. It was, however, good to get to the finish of the rally. We'll get all the cars turned around and ready to go for the next event, and fingers crossed by then we will have had some rain without complete flooding and needing Noah's Ark. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the 2019 Better Value Tyres Safari Rally. Please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you again soon. Cheers.